Hello and welcome to another edition of Cardinal News Update. I'm Tom Landon, joined today by Kevin Myatt, who is new to Cardinal News and very familiar to longtime readers of the Roanoke Times as a weather expert. So, Kevin, before we get started, just tell me a little bit about how the adjustment's been coming over to Cardinal News from the Roanoke Times.
Well, in a lot of ways, it's just it's a 2.0 version. It's just kind of picking up where I left off. It even comes out a similar time of the week. My main column comes out on a Wednesday night. It used to come out on a Wednesday morning in the newspaper. Of course, we have a newsletter to go with it now that will deliver it right to your inbox if you sign up on Cardinal News for either the weather email or the two news emails. So the adjustment, it's not been huge. It is a larger area, but it seems to be going very well.
Well, great. Well, weather doesn't really respect, the coverage area of one place or another anyway. So, well, thanks for taking the time. I know you got a lot going on in your professional life. So, we're recording this on December 15th. How is this winter shaping up from your perspective? And, we might as well get it out of the way. What do you think about a white Christmas?
I think a white Christmas is very possible. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say it's likely, but it's there are strong indications that definitely we're headed into a cold period for the holiday season. All the things are lining up in the northern latitudes to push the cold air downward, and we could be talking some really serious cold around Christmas. Maybe some single digits kind of stuff, maybe even some below zero kind of stuff. At least a little west of the Roanoke area, more towards the West Virginia line, but. There are storm systems that we're going to have to watch coming around the edge of this cold air mass. And right around the 23rd, got my eyes on it. There could be, a larger winter storm somewhere east of the Mississippi. Whether that lands right on us or we get kind of fringed by it, or we get, kind of sideswiped, or we get a lot from it. That all remains to be seen. Of course, the precip types and all that. But, this year, last year we had a record warm Christmas in a lot of our region, but this year maybe a 180 flip, and you have some reason to have some hope, at least, of a white Christmas, if that's what you want.
Right. And, I'm sure some people watching are like, oh no, better adjust my travel plans, but just want to encourage everybody to keep up by following what's going on Cardinal News and other weather sources, because we are 10 days out right now. So it could change. In your column this week, you spent some time talking about recent Decembers. And as I read that, my own perception is that, December generally here in the Roanoke Valley anyway, doesn't turn out to be much snow-wise most years. Am I right that we tend to get it later when official winter is actually fully engaged?
Yes, February tends to be our snowiest month based on averages. Usually some in January, a tilt toward February, getting some of the bigger events over time. We've had a few in March. December is kind of hit and miss. We've had two very large winter storms in 2009 and also in 2018 during December. The unusual thing of late, just in the past decade, 12 years or so, is that we've had so many Decembers that have been absolute zero on the snowfall. It's not unprecedented. The 20s were sort of similar to that, but it's been a very feast or famine. We haven't been getting like these little 1 and 3 inch kind of 2 to 4 inch kind of things. We've been getting either a whole lot or not much, and we'll see how that turns out with half the month left and some cold air masses and possibly winter storms to watch.
In terms of one of the things you write about in your column is one of my favorite places in the world, which is Burke's Garden in Tazewell. And what is it about Burke's Garden that makes it special when it comes to watching weather?
Well, it's what would be called a heat sink or a temperature sink. A frost pocket maybe would be another term. It's just the way the terrain is situated. It looks a lot like a crater if you look at it from aerial views. And on a clear, we're talking about a clear, calm night, the cold air sinks to the bottom and gets trapped, and it can't escape. It can't spread out. So places like that, places like Canaan Valley, West Virginia, where Virginia Tech has some instrumentation that shows some of the coldest readings in the country regularly. Peter Sinks, Utah. There's some others that are similar like that. They often just trap this cold air on these clear, calm nights, and that's a lot of what you see when you see Burke's Garden like 10 or 15 degrees colder than say Roanoke or New River Valley, or maybe even 20 degrees colder than Danville right. on some nights. So that's kind of the secret there.
And I would just encourage anybody, if you haven't been up there personally, I'd wait till summertime, but it is just such a gorgeous place to go and in our coverage area and yours. So, well, Kevin, thanks a lot. I hope that as we go on, maybe we can do this seasonally and look at the big trends. This isn't really, day-to-day news that we do at Cardinal News Update. So I love being able to look and then we'll look back in another couple months and see how we're doing. And just thanks for keeping an eye on things. I'm not a true weather geek, but I love to follow it. And those of you who are and spend your time looking at all the different stations and all the different models, the rest of us really appreciate it. So thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.